This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I wanted to show you some beams. A beam is an inverted video, and that's part of what I wanted to show you, is the absolute impossibility of the globe. So I'm going to try and help you to see this from a vantage point. I've got a couple of devices recording. That's the classic hourglass. Here we can see it pretty good, I think. This is the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina skyline over this way, and I'll zoom in. So with the P1000, I'm going to zoom in pretty aggressively. Let's see if I can make this happen here. We're expecting about 20 million guests here this year. The Myrtle Beach skyline's about 25 miles away. There is quite a bit of water between here and there, and the tidal activity obscures some of the vision of that. So what I will do is now for this, I'll just go ahead and flip it like this. You can reach out and call me anytime you like. The truth of the matter is artificial intelligence is deceptive, just so you're aware of that. It lies. AI lies. It's given us the globe. The global deception existed before the artificial intelligence. I don't know how long it's been self-aware, so to speak. I do know that it's impossible for sand to flow in the opposite direction. And let's go ahead and show you that once again. The boundaries of the water are reliable enough that trillions of dollars of development has been placed around the world. As you can see, the water will not stick on the globe. It'll just run right off there. That's what it does. Now, we can't see the effects of the wind, or I should say we can't see the wind, but we can see the effects of the wind. Now, the water is wet, obviously, on the sand there. However, a puddle like this will actually become level. Water seeks level all over the face of the earth. If you believe it's convex, you're deceived. There's some convex activity going on that's absolutely absurd. Supposedly, the convexity would be inversely what the sphere is supposed to be. That's ridiculous. All right, so I'm gonna give the globe another kick. The wind moves stuff. The wind will move the water moves the sand. Enough wind and water, we're having flooding all over the Midwest. People are dying, they're drowning. Their livelihoods are being totally done away with. Cattle farmers losing their herds. It's tragic. I'm basically outing that. I'm going to out all of it. My liked video playlist covers all of that. If you've got more information you want me to look at, just go ahead and send it my way. So the only place the globe actually exists, and Logan said there's flat earthers all around the globe. I said the globe is all around. It's in our minds. It's only in our minds. It's deceptive. So this is a magnet that I've got right there and a plate. I can flip it over like this. We have 3 people per second no longer have the human experience. Their body stops functioning. That's the reality of that. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. So there's a lot of college students, high school students from all over. It's the #1 demographic for abortions, which is murder. I'm outing that. It's criminal. Just because abortion is legal, it still is murder, okay? And I'm outing that. And there's actually a parting out of aborted babies. They're actually parting out the bodies, consuming the parts, and for making people younger, so to speak. It's criminal. I'll expose all of that. Abortion is murder. 1.5 billion have been aborted, apparently, since it's been legalized. Just because something is legal doesn't make it right. Just because something is popular doesn't make it true, doesn't make it factual. So, that's the way that is. This is not a popularity contest. My friends and I are getting beat up on for telling the truth. Oh well. I'll keep doing it. And I'm going to out the whole system. The Ponzi scheme that the financial system is, that's part of it. They create money out of thin air by that influence with that money. I saw an attempted act of prostitution last night, right here in the area. And I heard the guy saying I wasn't going to spend $1,000 for, and he described the act. Okay. And the lady that transported the younger lady looked like a soccer mom and her daughter. That's what it looked like, a little puppy dog in the vehicle. Much of humanity is run by our primal basic desires for sexual satisfaction, significance in our place in humanity. What are we doing? Rather than doing my own thing and then hacking my brain with chemicals to try and make sense of that and feel okay with it, I'll just do what Jesus created me to do, and that involves outing this massive deception that is enslaving humanity with their own selfish desire. How about that? So it's not a popular thing. A lot of people wonder what I'm up to. When I come out to the beach with wind chimes, I obviously realize a lot of people don't do that or wear their YouTube channel on their shirt. You know, I'm not embarrassed by the truth. I'm not embarrassed of the way, the truth, and the life. I've known him as Jesus Christ. You may call him Yeshua. There's a lot of references. The living word, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega. From Genesis to Revelation, Jesus Christ, the Almighty Father, the great I am. You can check it out. You can check him out. So part of what I bring to the table is a relentless pursuit of exposing the reality of the world that we live in. Because it matters for eternity, what we do here. If you hashtag YouTube Truth, you'll find my stuff. You might like it. Well, it's about the truth. Basically exposing the reality of the world that we live in. And if you want to be on it, you can step right over there, and if you want. And we can talk about it. And if you would rather not, you can stay over there. Either way. Where are you all from?
I'm actually all students at Liberty University.
Okay, so Liberty University, a Christian college.
Yes.
I'm showing the impossibility of the globe. What I've done is I've inverted right now it's in the proper orientation. The globe exists only in the imagination. It's not biblical, it's not reality. It was created by the Jesuit order, the Masonic, it's the heliocentric, sun-worshipping model, Ra worship. It's unbiblical, it's not reality. Genesis talks about a firmament that separates the waters from above from the waters below. It's a structure. There's a lot of water up there. the flood that Noah prepared for covered over the tops of all the mountains. You can't. Would one of you grab my globe for me? Anyone? Just go ahead and bring it on over if you would.
Is it like flat Earth?
Well, it's mostly flat. We've got elevation above and below sea level over 5.5 miles reported with Everest. Thank you.
Chris, what would you say about in Isaiah? Isaiah
he looks down on the circle of the earth. Isaiah 40:22. So he looks down on the circle. Dur is a ball. Circle, is it circular like a pancake or like a sphere? You won't get sphere out of the Bible. You're not going to get a globe out of the Bible as bad as you may want to make it happen. The other thing is I've got a limited amount of time, but I do want to talk to you and explain this, and we can talk more later when I'm done. I'm running my broadcast for about a half hour now. Okay, so the only place that the upside down world exists is in the imagination. Artificial intelligence is a very powerful tool to deceive. Seeing is believing. What? What do we see? What do we believe? Look at movies. Look at the movie The Matrix, Inception, Gravity, green screen, chroma color, cinematography. Watch Universal Studios with their spinning globe in the logos. It's been going on for a long time. So the thing of this, with the sand going like that, earlier in the broadcast I flipped my camera over. In fact, I'm going to do it right now once again. And what I'm going to show my audience is the impossibility of sand flowing the opposite direction. It does not happen except in the imagination. So we've got up and down, not upside down. Can anybody tell me what a gallon of water weighs?
8.2 pounds?
At what temperature?
Air temperature?
Okay, so what air temperature? So it's a complicated. Water changes the temperature. Yeah, if you can get that, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Basically, the temperature changes the density and the volume of water. I can take that back again if you don't mind. So what they're saying, we're here in North America, and this is actually made from NASA imagery, apparently. I got it online at Amazon for my audience to see this. It's a sphere of influence. It's a sphere of deception. So consider this. We're in North America, and then apparently Australia is upside down. I've been on the phone with an angry vegan atheist from Australia, and he believed we live on a globe. I was talking to him, and I said, I hear a wind chime outside your window, right? He said, yeah. I said, I've got one too. Apparently, according to what you believe, our wind chimes are upside down in relationship to one another. And if you were to go flush your toilet and I were to flush mine, they would be drawn to the center of a spinning, wobbling, and gyrating oblate spheroid. It's not happening. Now here's the deal. That's where it says that the earth doesn't move. Not in one cherry-picked verse, a lot of places. Hundreds of verses talk about the non-movement of the earth or the celestial bodies moving above the face of the earth. The continents rise out of the water like a clay seal, showing that. I've got a lot of imagery on my Facebook profile that show this. When a meme isn't enough, you know what a meme is, right? Sure. Let there be beams, lots of them. I made beams a couple years ago showing upside down bicyclist joggers. It looks freaking outrageous. I've increased that to beach renourishment, bulldozers upside down, ships floating upside down, apparently only in the imagination, because it's not possible. We don't have real pictures of the earth from space. All we have is composites, CGI. Now, here's the thing. What's that? I know we didn't go to the moon. Yeah, the moon's a lot closer. This camera that I'm using right here will zoom in 125 times. So if we actually went there and left something like a flag and a rover, I'd be able to picture it. It's not there. I've got visible proof of craters. You can look at it. Fine detail. Fine detail.
The moon is millions and millions and millions of miles away.
Well, they're saying 238,000. Stanley Kubrick had a when he did the movie The Shining, and he's got Room 237, and he's got the little boy with the Apollo 11 sweater, and he's on the same carpet that Buzz Lightyear, the Pixar movie with Toy Story, and he's on the same carpet that Sid's house. This stuff is mesmerizing. It's mind-boggling. AI knows what you look at, what you do, where you live, that there's a little cluster of our cell phones right around a guy that's right now got about 40 million views. I'm on Logan Paul's video. What I was heard saying is, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? We ain't gyrating. We ain't moving, okay? We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. Do you think the tide's coming or going, rising or falling right now?
Rising.
It's been going out for 2 hours now.
Right.
Yeah, just so you know. Santa lies, NASA lies, Satan lies. Who believed the lie that an all-knowing Santa was going to take flying freaking reindeer and deliver presents if you were a good little boy? I did. Anybody else? Okay. Let me just see a show of hands, for sure. Okay. I'm at about 95% of people believing that. It just goes to show that we can be deceived. A lot of people were in on it.
Why would people want to deceive us for that?
On the Santa thing?
No.
They want to get God out of the equation.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So according to NASA, Neil deGrasse and Bill Nye, where you can be a man, a woman, or whatever you want to be. Change the plumbing or padding, and by golly, Shazam, you can be some different gender. Not so. Is it hate speech? I talked about abortion being murder, and the demographic of your group is the #1 murdering. Sexual promiscuity, God says don't do it, right? Outside of marriage, don't do it. It doesn't matter what gender. If you're not married, you're not supposed to be going there. Okay, so here's the deal. People are chasing after a life of self-satisfaction. They're trying to satisfy themselves. When I told Logan Paul, I said, I tried pleasing others, it didn't work. I tried pleasing myself, that really didn't work. He said, you mean masturbation? And I said, yeah. Then he looked at the camera like that. And what he cut was when I said, now, when I was actually born again and I do what Jesus created me to do, he gives me a passion, purpose, an eternal perspective, and a power to do what I couldn't do. I worked at a full-time ministry for 11 years, Rawhide Boys Ranch in New London, Wisconsin. Bart Starr, the Green Bay Packer, helped found that. I worked at a mega church, volunteer. Was selected to teach character development, Bible study, and all that. And we homeschooled our 3 adult sons now. We perpetuated the global lie. I didn't know it was a lie. I didn't even know to look into it. I knew we didn't come from monkeys. Are you all got to go?
No, I'm just wondering, do you think the truth of the flat earth or the truth of the gospel is more important?
I believe the truth is the most important. The truth. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He's the embodiment of truth. His character, as his word says, is evident in his creation. So, God's word tells us what has happened historically. The Great Flood. He tells us about the creation, the origin of this life experience that we have. As water reflects a man's face, God's word reflects the man. You look at the reflection of the people on the sand, on the water. As I looked in the mirror and I saw an active drug addict and alcoholic, pharmaceuticals, I am a suicide survivor. In 2005, when Hurricane Katrina was pummeling the United States and more, I was recovering in a suicide recovery ward. Here's the deal. They'll talk about you may have unusual thoughts with pharmaceuticals, mind-altering modification. It's a prison for the mind. Here's the deal. They'll talk about unusual thoughts, weight gain, weight loss. You might have suicidal thoughts. I never heard homicidal thoughts. That runs concurrently. That's why we get the murder-suicide that's out of character. Our pastor of the church I belong to and volunteered at went on pharmaceuticals and killed himself. Tragic. Okay, so I'm blowing the whistle on the pharmaceutical industry, the financial system of the world, creating money out of thin air, and debt slaves that are chasing after or paying off a loan with money that never existed. The world reserve currency, the creature from Jekyll Island, as G. Edward Griffin called it, the Federal Reserve. It's not a reserve, it's not federal. Okay, so what has happened is a new world order, the Illuminati. I'm blowing the whistle on all that. When I was actually born again in 2014, Jesus took up residence in me. There was a new sheriff in town. He took away the desire for all the stuff that he told me I shouldn't be doing. That's a game changer. Instead of me just doing my own thing and then toss some chemicals in my body and brain to feel better, he changed me. I have a new nature. It's not that I have a new belief system. I've got a new operating system. The Holy Spirit is more than an operating system. I was a spiritually dead man walking and didn't know it. I'm Robert Forsch. Thanks for your respectful listening. I've still got 7 minutes left on this recording, so questions, anybody, I'll do my best to answer them for you.
I don't understand.
Yeah, if you come close to me, they'll hear you on the surround sound here.
I still don't understand. Like, what's the importance, at least with the flat Earth?
Yeah.
Like, what's the importance of proving that we're on the flat Earth?
Okay,
what's
so
the significance?
most of humanity, I'm going to address all y'all. Most of humanity believes that God is a fairy tale, right? Or they give lip service to it. They may be praising Jesus, but smelling like vodka. Okay, something ain't right there. We get the pastoral failures, all of that. There's a bunch of unregenerate people attending church. They're not actually born again. They may be Satan's children. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's like a dashboard light. Who drives the car? Any of y'all? When the dashboard light goes on, you know something's wrong, right? If you don't think that the shape of the earth, the biblical proclamation of the creation matters, that's a problem. If you look into it, and there's abundant evidence that the earth we live on is not a spinning ball hurling through space, if you can't see that, I would be concerned for your salvation, quite frankly, because the truth matters. Yeah.
So do you think that your salvation, your belief in Christ, is hung on your belief is the earth is the shape of the earth? No.
Here's the point.
Yeah.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. Look it up. So they refuse to love the truth. What was that delusion? Something that caused them to not be saved. In my case, I thought I was born again until I actually was. I was self-deceived. By irony and paradox, the deceived don't know they're deceived. Did that answer that?
How did you come to the conclusion you're at now? Like, how did you go from?
Okay, so for about 1.5 years, I was making audio Bibles, merging it with the beauty of creation. I've got like from the Gospel of John to Revelation, 11 hours and 55 minutes. I've done that several times. And I've got hundreds of hours of the audio Bible merged with the beauty of creation out here. Okay, so what happened was on one of my audio Bibles, video Bibles, a friend from Tasmania said, "Where's the curve? LOL." I deleted the comment, called Nigel Banks. I said, "Nigel, are you okay? You feeling okay?" What curve? He said, "Yeah, we know we didn't come from monkeys, but they lied about the globe. We don't live on a spinning ball hurling through space." With apparently, according to NASA, over 4 movements. Rotation of over 1,038 at the equator, hurling around the sun at over 66,000 miles an hour. None of that's happening. And then there's some more. So the amount of movement is imaginary. It's non-existent. The Earth doesn't move. So the point of that is that people, like, I came to that conclusion then also by looking at empirical evidence. Water seeps level, the horizon, the x-axis, there's no visible curvature. I'm not supposed to be getting a call. Oh wow, That's a movie producer from Hollywood. Like I said, I'm on a lot of different videos. You can see it, the PewDiePie, the Logan Paul, the Triggered Throw. I do this because the truth matters. Now, I'm collaborating with a lot of people that are dining from a spiritual smorgasbord, much like humanity. I'll take a little of that, a little of this, a little New Age, a little Hinduism, a little whatever, okay? So it doesn't mean that flat earth believers have this whole Jesus thing right. A lot of them don't. Much like humanity, people are largely deceived. It's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. I believe in the sovereignty of God. The free will of man, I don't get it. If God is sovereign, how can man have free will? God is sovereign. Man thinks he has free will. That's pretty much what I do with it. So when I was actually born again, I came to realize that God is large and in charge, and I'll just do what he created me to do. How about that? 3 minutes left. Yeah, for sure.
To me, I look out there and I see the buildings drifting getting smaller and smaller.
Right. There's laws of perspective. There's perspective.
Okay.
So as things are further away, they look smaller. When we have fog here, okay, why don't we have daylight everywhere if the earth is flat? Well, I can't see the end of the pier when it's foggy. Clouds go in front of the sun, can't see the sun. Wow, it gets pretty dark. That's part of it. There's perspective. Are you staying at a hotel?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. But if you look down the pier, doesn't it look like those get shorter? The pylons, the piers? Yeah. They do. When you're going down the road, it'll look like the telephone poles get shorter. They're not. It's perspective. Excellent question.
So, what happens and what changes if the earth is flat?
Oh, well, what changes is knowing the truth and how it works. Okay, they're flooding Nebraska, artificial intelligence, creating weather. That's part of it. AI is...
Chemtrails? No.
Well, some call it chemtrails. It's adding particulate in the atmosphere, nano-sized particles of conductive material, aluminum, barium, strontium.
So how can you prove that?
It's found in water samples in the mountains where there's no industry. There's abundant proof on my channel. I've got abundant proof of weather modification, patents that talk about it. The reason why it matters is the truth matters. It means that all the major networks are being deceptive intentionally. Does that matter? If you're going to make a decision on something, should I go left or right? Do you want to go down the road that's going to lead you to the truth or deception? Am I going to die? So much of humanity is toxic with what's going in the eyes, ears, what the imagination considers, what people are putting in their mouth for food. Fluoride in the water, toxic. I don't do it. I wouldn't brush my teeth with the toxic material. Read the back of your label of your toothpaste. Does it